the Western Conference playoffs. Now, I don't know if you've been following the NBA, or maybe you're just getting back into it for the playoffs, but this season, the Western Conference, it's pretty stacked. I mean, we can get into the Eastern Conference, but over here, I mean, I don't really care about that. I'm gonna keep it honest, keep it a buck with you. I think the Celtics will most likely get through. If not, that'll be interesting. They've had their struggles, but I mean, we're here to talk about the West here, and mainly the Clippers, because this Western Conference, I mean, it's pretty crazy. There's really no good matchup you can really ask for. There are some that might be a little bit better, but I think the Clippers have the potential to take it all the way, and I'm going to get into that in this video. Now, first off, I just want to preface, I'm not by any means a professional NBA analyst or anything, just a casual guy, a fan of the Clippers, fan of Westbrook, who's following the team, been watching a lot of the games this season. Just want to kind of give my thoughts, their chances. So first off, I think it is pretty clear that the biggest X factor for the Clippers here is definitely just their health. The Clippers curse, whatever it may be. For the past couple of years, the Clippers have never really been healthy. Last year, no PG. Kawhi goes down after 2 games. Westbrook, he can only do what he can do. But getting on to this year, though, assuming everyone stays healthy, and that's the assumption, they can make it very far. And particularly Kawhi. If Kawhi goes out, I think it's pretty much just done in the water. Because, I mean, he really is... you look at players like Jokic and stuff like that, and his impact on the team, and you take him off, and all of a sudden these guys are just not even a playoff team. Right? No disrespect, but Jokic is just that good. Now, you look at the Clippers, now sure, they have 3 really good talents, Hall of Fame potential players, but it's surprising, even with all that being said, Kawhi's impact is just that much better. I mean, he's 40, 50, 90 this season. I think he's maybe a little bit short on the free throw percentage, but I mean, nonetheless, very good numbers. But, getting to the rest of the players, though, I mean, like I said with Kawhi, I'm not really, no doubts with him, really. Give it a buck. I'm not really worried. But with PG's, he has his playoff consistencies here and there. I'm not really too worried. As of late, actually, he's been pretty hot. So I'm hoping he can kind of keep that momentum going. There's no real guarantees, though. I mean, usually PG has a slow start and he kind of gets things going towards the fourth quarter. He's been very good in the fourth quarter this year from the games I've watched. But, kind of starting off early is really where it comes for PG, and I hope that's kind of what you'd expect to see from him there, because I'm not really too worried about PG's performance overall, to be completely honest. But getting to the next guy, though, Harden, I think he's probably the most important guy on this entire team, if I'm being completely honest. He's been more of that assist first kind of guy. That's his role for this team, and even Philly. The problem with Harden, he'll have nights where he'll distribute his offense via assists, but if he's not getting his occasional buckets here and there, he's not really making his impact enough, I feel like. Because, with Harden, he's a little bit slower. He has his system plays, but he may not be the best defensive player. He's had some matches where he has played good defense. Notably, one was against the Celtics, surprisingly. He can really be a good defensive player when he wants to. But generally, I feel like if he's not doing what he needs to do, he's pretty much just not really that effective. Because you can have someone like a Westbrook on the floor who will just give you more pace and more effort and better defense. But, assuming Harden plays good, I think this team can pretty much just win it all. I'm going to keep it real. Going to the rest of the team, though, I mean, Westbrook, he's been pretty much the catalyst for this team. Clippers, they've needed this energy. They've needed this kind of just pace, to say the least. I mean, they've really had a bad pace. To play a lot of ISO at certain situations, especially in the fourth quarter. They can win those fourth quarters doing that. They can also lose them with Westbrook. At least with the energy he provides, you can get a lot easier plays, and the offense just runs a lot more smoothly. As for the rest of the roster, you have a lot of good fitting pieces. Norman Powell, I think he is the 3rd best shooter in the league right now in terms of percentage. He's been absolutely phenomenal. You have guys like Terrence Mann, who's just a solid, athletic, defensive player. Gets you boards, does what he needs to, knows his role. Can't really complain about him. Zubac, same thing. He's been very good, actually, in terms of the Harden pick and roll. But, depending on the matchups, knowing Ty Lue, he'll probably play small, he probably won't. Zoo will have his minutes when he can, and I think he'll be effective when he is playing, but you don't really know. Because, the Clippers are a very versatile team. They're going to do what they got to do. They're going to make the matches that they're going to make, but now let's get to the interesting part. The matchups. Alright, now the first matchup of the playoffs, the Mavericks versus the Clips. Clips got home court advantage. I mean, this one's probably going to be the best matchup in the entire Western playoffs, at least for the first round. This is just star-studded teams. Mavericks have been on a roll. I mean, it's just like two teams that could literally just win the conference. Like, whoever wins this series probably will get to the Western Conference Finals, if we're honest. Play them and the Nuggets, but I mean, it's going to be a hard series. I mean, when it comes down to it, everybody's probably going to perform on the Maverick side. I mean, as long as their supporting cast doesn't just like absolutely go off, Clippers should win. I don't really see any reason why other than that though. But all right, now to the second round of the playoffs. This might be a little bit controversial, but I think only and only if the Pelicans make it here from the play-in is it going to be any trouble. No disrespect to the Thunder, I just think they're a little bit young. Not a little bit young, they are young, and they're just not really experienced enough. I mean, if they can beat the Mavericks in the first round, the Clips that is, they shouldn't really struggle against the Thunder, in my opinion. I think the Mavs would just be a little bit tougher of a matchup for the Clippers. But the Pelicans, on one hand, I think is actually just a wild card. Pelicans are actually a really good matchup for the Clippers. They're just stronger, more physical. They run the same sort of small ball stuff, so they can't really win the matchup there. Clippers generally are the better small ball team against pretty much any team in the league, except for the Pelicans. I feel like are just that much better defensively that they kind of just shut it down entirely. So if the Pelicans are there in the second round, this it might be a hot take, but I think it's gonna be a harder matchup than the Mavs, and it low key might be like a 7-game series. That's it. But I think the Clips will still win. I know this deep, might as well. But that's that. Alright, now to the Western Conference Finals. I think it's safe to say it's going to be the Nuggets. I don't really see any other team beat the Nuggets up to this point in the game. Assuming everyone's healthy right now, the Clippers I think, will win it because during the regular season, they're 2-2 against them. Right? You might think it's even, but actually, one of the matches they actually lost was pretty embarrassing. Pretty much to the Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, Porter Jr. list Nuggets. So, take away that game, kind of scratch it off. This new environment, it's going to be a lot more tense. They probably won't make those same mistakes. Maybe those two players, Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan, still pop off, but I think generally the Clippers have somewhat of a slight edge. So yeah, I got the Clippers winning. Maybe a little bit biased, not gonna lie. Nuggets realistically probably are better, but Clippers are built different. Maybe any other thoughts? Any complaints? Think who do you think is gonna win the conference war? And peace.